Hi, Courtney here, and I'm coming on to talk to you about the science of well-being. Just real quick, if you like this content, please like and subscribe. I'm a stress management specialist, I'm a yoga therapist, and I have a lot of other training in the field of well-being as well, from solution-focused coaching, which I only use in my particular job, not as a coach. I specifically work in cardiac stress management or cardiac rehab. And I also am taking a class right now on the science of well being. I've been in my field for 21 years. So I basically teach people how to manage their stress and how to be less stressed and how to build their resiliency, if you will. And I've been taking this class at Yale called The Science of Well-Being, and I wanted to share with you a little bit of what I've learned, and I'm going to try to do it in a relatively quick way. I want to talk to you first of all about understanding why we're not happy and a few things that you can do about it. And I'm only on week 3. I've completed 3 weeks of my lessons, and it's a 10-week course. So I thought I would do the first 3 weeks. First of all, the reasons we're often unhappy is our mind is often poor at predicting what will make us happy. We think if we find the love of our life, we'll be happier. If we get that new job, we'll be happier. And the truth is, we we might be a little happier, or we might be happier, a lot happier, but then we will often return to baseline or a little above baseline. So you get married to someone and the first year or two is super exciting, but then you just get used to being married to that person. It becomes the normal. And so we often are not great at predicting what's going to make us. We think, we get that new job, we get the money, it's going to change our life. And to some extent, there's a certain level, like making $75,000 a year, tends to get us over that point where we're not having our needs met, what we're feeling. And that can be relative to where you live, because $75,000 where I live in Arkansas is a lot of money. But if you live in like DC or New York or Colorado, it may not be. The second thing is comparison. That old adage that comparison is the root of all unhappiness is actually true. The research pans it out that we don't tend to compare people, I hate to say below us, but who have it worse than us. We tend to look at people who have it better than us. And so if you're watching television and like everyone on TV lives in mansions and drives fancy cars, you're far more likely to feel bad about yourself than to feel good about yourself. If you're watching social media, I posted some stuff today on social media. I have an obligation to market my books that I've written, to my courses, documentary film I'm in, and that all sounds wonderful. But the truth is, I don't hardly make any money off of any of those things. I make money at my day job. Honestly, I make a little bit of money off books. I make no money off of the film I was in. I make no money off of, I make a little bit of money off my course, and that's great. I do that, and I share that information, but it may look like I'm just this like very accomplished yoga therapist and I'm making all this money, but that's not the case. And oftentimes these things that we get, which has actually led me to quit doing so much, a lot of those things you see out about me are things I did years ago that you're just seeing now. So we often compare ourselves to people thinking, oh, if we're like them, if we're successful like them, things will be great. When in reality, you're only seeing one part of who they are. So, and we can look at people and think about, well, this person doesn't, like, I have a house to live in, and this person is having to live with a roommate and a crappy apartment or something like that. Whereas, and there was a story that Dale Carnegie used to have about a man with no shoes, and the man wanted shoes, and when he got shoes he was happier, but then he wanted a bicycle, and when he got a bicycle he wanted a car, and so on and so forth. So you see how it goes. We also aren't always aware that we get used to stuff. So you might think, well, if I get that nice house and I get that perfect wife and I get the perfect body, I will be happy. But the truth is, when we get those things, we might be a little happier in the get-go right away, but we get used to them. It doesn't mean we're unhappier. It just means that we get used to it. And just knowing these things can help you be happier, can help you be more content. Um, and I kind of, that word happiness and contentment, I think we need to maybe focus on contentment and realize that happiness, that feeling of high, is kind of fleeting, actually. Our minds are built also, number 4, is to be resilient. And we don't know this. We often don't predict that our minds are very resilient. We're resilient people. We something bad can happen to us, or we can predict something bad would happen to us, like a terrible accident that might leave us without a limb. And we think that that would just ruin our lives. But the truth is, we don't have the focus to think that that just wouldn't be the only thing. We would still have family, we'd still probably have work, we would still have hobbies, and that those things, when we take a broader perspective, there's other things that impact our happiness. It's not just that one bad or good thing we're focusing on that we think would make us less happy or more happy. So those are kind of the ways our mind views things, and our mind is just often not good at predicting what will make us happy or what will not make us happy. And I'm going to talk to you about some things that you could do today to help you, that have been proven to make you feel better and to be happier. Number 1 is to be grateful. And it's very simple but hard to do, but to be thankful, to name what you're thankful for in your mind and to visualize it and to spend some time in gratitude. The second one is to savor, to take some time today, think about something you could do. It doesn't have to be long. Maybe you're going to take a walk. Maybe you can make yourself a nice meal. Maybe you take a hot bath and just really savor the moment. Enjoy the taste of the food, the smell of the food. Turn some music on while you're cooking. Put some lavender or some Epsom salts in your bath and soak, and notice how the water feels. Turn on some music. Notice the smell. Savoring is another way to really make you happy. 2 more things that make us happy is to do random acts of kindness. They don't have to cost anything. You've often heard the buying a meal for somebody, the car behind you at Starbucks or whatever. They could be fixing a meal for somebody, giving a compliment, holding the door for somebody, helping somebody, volunteering. They could be giving money. So random acts of kindness are another way. And social connections are the 4th way, and I'm going to give you the 5th way in a minute to help. But social connections especially with strangers. So, like, I saw my son today. That is a social connection that helps both of us be more content and have connection to family. But having a connection with a stranger, saying something nice to someone, having a conversation is actually shown to be more helpful in happiness and contentment. So I'm extremely introverted, so being inside, like, I'm not going anywhere today, but I will go to work tomorrow. I'll teach 2 classes tomorrow. I'll be running some errands. Those interactions with other people actually help to change our perception of our happiness and well-being. The 5th one I want to add, which is to filter your what comes into your world. So filter what you watch on TV, your social media, and just also realizing just the awareness that just because on TV you see someone showing off their fancy new Land Rover, what you may not see is that really expensive payment they have or that bad relationship. Just understanding that you're only seeing one part of their life. Like that person who got that job that looks really great, what you may not realize is they've been out of work for a year working at, the local home improvement store, or they've applied to 120 jobs to get that one job. And so just that awareness that one thing you see on social media is not how it is. I mean, I do feel like the body positive movement has helped us understand that a lot, that all the Photoshop bodies we used to see on in magazines and billboards, that most people aren't actually built like that. So having that awareness, filtering your social media, limiting social media, TV, advertising, getting the apps and notifications off your phone, that can really help a lot. So I just wanted to share these thoughts with you, and I'll continue to share. There was so much more in depth on that, but I hope this has helped someone today. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.